Hi, I'm James with TVS Pro doing another DJI video for you. Today on the DJI Focus, wireless follow focus that is, recently released in the last couple months and they've just now started shipping. We've gotten our first batches in a few weeks ago. Those have already gone out. We're waiting for more to come in. We've got one in our rental department as well. Really kind of solid rentals on that. We've gotten a lot of great reviews from the customers who have purchased it as well as rented it. We feel as far as its range, its quality, its weight, it's got a really good weight to it, its fluidity on the rings, accessories that it comes with, the case and everything, that this is a pretty darn good purchase to its competitors and whatnot. And we're kind of excited more and more seeing where DJI is going with their innovation and their products. They're no longer an aerial company anymore. With products like the Ronin, the follow focus, and now the Osmo as well, you're not just able to use DJI products for your aerial shots, but more and more for your ground shots as well. They are a storytelling production company now, and we're super excited to see what further products they'll come out because they're really good quality and competitively priced as well. So this video, we're going to do an unboxing here and just an initial setup. We're not going to do in this one a full instruction on it. A lot of it is really self-explanatory and the manual is not very difficult, but we've had some customers kind of bypass some of that stuff and really, they get it set up, say on their Ronin or whatnot, and the lights are telling them that it's paired, but they're moving that ring and it just isn't doing anything. And so there's a quick calibration that you have to do every time you turn it on to tell it where its endpoints are. Unless you're using something like a nicer lens, like a prime lens, say from Canon's EOS line, those Cine Primes, those have hard stops in the focus. But if you're using, I'm just using Canon as an example, if you're using some of their EF L series lenses and things, those don't have hard stops on those focus. So you've got to tell this focus where those endpoints are. And so we'll cover that real briefly. Without any further delay, let's get into the unboxing. So first off, it comes in this really nice case, Pelican style. No extra cost or anything. It just comes in this really nice build. This would, yeah, it's a nice case. So as I pop this open here, there is your wireless follow focus. So on this side, we've got a neck strap and then some of the cables, and I'm just going to start from my right and work over the cables that it comes with. So you've got one what they'll call your data cable or data cable, however, tomato, basically Lima. So this is your power cable and transferring information, whatever else for there. And then you've got two different cables, P-tap and Lima on one end. One is about a foot, maybe a little over a foot, and the other one is just over 2 feet long. Same on both sides, but you've got P-tap on one side and your Lima on the other. Now, Anton Bauer calls this D-tap. As far as we can tell, it's pretty well the same thing. We've used both, and they're pretty universal on both platforms. DJI calls it P-tap, at least that's what's on their distribution box, the power distribution box on the bottom of their Ronin. That's what this is intended for, to power your motor on the receiving end of the transmission. So you've got those two cables there. It also comes with a USB cable, and this micro USB cable is what you're going to use to power your transmitter. So it does have an internal battery, and there is a port on here that will allow you to charge it via this cable. You can plug into any other charger. It does not come with that charger that'll go into the wall, but you can plug it into a computer or any other existing USB plug that you've got, okay? So obviously here is my focus, and you'll notice up here on the top it's pretty flush because also right here you've got two antennas. Really you're only going to use one, so they're giving you a spare, and this guy's just going to screw in nice and easy up on top, okay? You've got, just covering this here real quick, you've got your stops. You've got two stops that you can loosen and tighten with those screws there. That's pretty common if you're familiar with some follow focuses out there. And you've got a marking ring. These are removable. These are your markings if you need to. And there is a light, so if you're dealing with low light or working in a studio with low light, it will light up these markings really nice, and they give you replacements so you can continue to make those marks as you need to. Obviously, here's your interface. These A, B, C, and D, these are memory points. So as you rotate your lens into one point and say, that's the distance that I want that focus at, and then you hold this A down and it will set that as its endpoint. And then as you rotate the focus to the other side, you push B and hold that down, and you can do that up to 4 times is really what these letters are for, other than the navigation, obviously, with the arrows, navigating through the menus and changing some of the different settings that are there. Other than that, that's pretty well it. On this side is where your USB port is to charge that, okay? Working down underneath, so there's another piece of foam, and underneath your transmitter is your motor here that fits under there, and it's got a little shoe adapter there, and this just loosens and tightens to fit onto a rail system. If you're using the Ronin, it comes with those rails. If you're using the Ronin M from DJI, you have to purchase those rails separately, but that's what this is designed for. As far as I know, so standard obviously is about 15 mil, and there's some diameters that are smaller and bigger. Bigger, I don't think you'd have any problems. Maybe a little bit smaller than 15 mil. I don't know, you may have problems, but for standard ones, 15 mil, you'll be good to go. You've got 2 data ports here, either side, whatever's convenient. There isn't, it's not input, output, it's just, there it is. And then your indicator light there to let you know that it is paired and operating. If you've got problems or it starts flashing, it's telling you there's something wrong with your pairing and whatnot. And then obviously your gear here, responding from the transmission. Working over then to the other side is they give you your lens rings, and they give you a 60, a 70, a 80, and a 90 millimeter. So depending on the diameter of your lens, these are pretty universal. And these feel like good builds. It's not basic plastic. This looks like resin, the same type of material that the case is made of, Pelican cases, HPRC, whoever it is. So I don't think you'll go through too many of these. Obviously, these are replaceable. You can purchase these if you start to damage these, but they seem to be a pretty good build. And the rentals that this one has gone out on, these don't even look used. So we got to believe that these are a decent quality. So we're going to pause here for a second because I'm going to show you that basic calibration now that we're done with the unboxing portion of it. And I'm going to set up that Ronin and get it paired up and mounted on there so that you can actually see it working. And I'll show you that basic calibration process. Okay, now that we've got everything set up, I've got my Ronin already turned on. I'm using a C100 with a 16-35 lens, and I've got my DJI Focus already mounted onto the rail, and my ring for that lens already installed as well. I've got my transmitter here already connected to my lanyard. You'll notice since I've got the Ronin powered on and my P-tap to LEMO plug, basically we're using that for power, plugged into the motor, I've got that flash on the motor portion of the DJI Focus that is flashing. That's telling me that nothing is paired, and it's because I haven't turned this guy on. So I've got my antenna installed. I'm going to power this on, and we'll see this screen come to life. And the light on the marking ring, this is not default. You have to go into the menu and turn that on. I find it kind of handy, and plus it's just cool looking. Now that I've got this on, that light has now disappeared. Okay, or not disappeared, but it's solid. Solid, so now we're paired. Well, you'll notice, even though it's giving me that indication that it's paired, I can wiggle or turn my focus and nothing is happening on my lens here. And that's because you have to calibrate it every time you turn this off because it doesn't know which lenses you're using. Now, because I'm using a 16-35 and this is not a lens that has a hard stop on the focus, you've got to set those endpoints, and that's why it isn't turning again. So easy enough. On the screen, I've got 2 options. On the right side, it says menu. On the left side, it says calibrate. So I'm going to select the left side because I need to calibrate. It's then going to ask me, do I want it to do it automatically? Now again, if I were using, let's use for example, a Cine Prime from Canon, a hard stopped lens, a hard stops on those focuses, I could say automatic and it would rotate it all the way to one stop, rotate it all the way to the other stop, and I'd be done. Because this does not, I've got to select a manual calibration. Okay, so I'm going to select that. Next set, it says start. So as I start that, and now wants to see the left side of that, the left far side of that focus. And you're going to use your up and down keys to adjust that focus. So I'm going to watch my focus here up top, and you'll notice I can rotate that lens by just pressing it 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, it rotates it just a hair each time. So as I click that, it's rotating. If I hold it down, it will speed up and go to the other side, okay? But I want the left side, so we're gonna go over to this left side. And about right there is where it's at, and I'm gonna hit set, which is okay. So as I set that, and now it's the right side. So I'm gonna go to the opposite side on my infinite focus side of this lens and get to about right there is my infinite focus setting, and I'm gonna set that. After that, it says done. Congratulations, I can hit back, 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 and it takes me to my main screen. So right now, as this ring sets, I had it at 29.2%. Well, if I rotate it, there's my one stop, and there's my hard stop, okay? Simple as that. Just real brief, if I wanted to, so let's put it onto this side, so not quite all the way over. Right there, if I hold A down, the letter A appears on the screen, and this button now starts flashing, telling me that I've actually set a memory or a stop for that lens. Well, now if I rotate it, and I'm gonna hold down B, now the letter B shows up. So now if I press A, it automatically goes to that stop. If I press B, it goes to that stop. So now, real quick, if I know some distances of some subjects, and it's already been measured out, I can do that really quickly. If I want to remove that memory, I can just hold that button down, same, so now B is gone and B has disappeared from the menu here, and if I hit A, hold it down, that disappears as well. I'm not going to go into the rest of the setup. It's really kind of self-explanatory, really fun to use. Have fun with it. If you've got questions, feel free to email me at jamesb@tvspec.com. Leave us comments. Let us know how you liked it. Good luck and happy shooting.